Buffy, he's a guy. You are the chosen guy.
Right. I'm the chosen one, and I choose to be shopping.
That's the greatest line I've ever heard. So today we're talking about Buffy the Vampire Slayer. No, not the massive media empire that spawned 7 wildly successful TV seasons, books, comics, merchandise, video games, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Instead, we're going to be talking about the 1992 theatrical movie that no one really likes, including the people who made it. Yay? So I really like Buffy as a franchise. Like, really, really, really like Buffy. That's me with Spike. He was lovely. Because of this adoration of the TV show though, I was actually more than a little hesitant to watch this one. I'm well aware that Joss Whedon, the creator of the series and writer of the film, has went on record to, if I'm putting it politely, shit all over it. He had a lot to say about studio interference, about Donald Sutherland's unprofessionalism. It's got middling reviews, the fandom reaction in retrospect is at best lukewarm, and a lot of people don't even really know that it exists, which painted the picture of something that was either a boring waste of time or just plain terrible. One reviewer, Alexander Walker of the Evening Standard, is even quoted as saying, "To enjoy this moronic rubbish, you need to put your IQ in total unconsciousness." But camp, kitsch, spooky-themed fun was exactly the kind of thing I was looking for with this marathon. So after checking it out, you know what? Call me a moron, Alexander, because I don't think it's that bad. I mean, it's definitely not a masterpiece. It's cheesy as all hell. I mean, the TV series had its fair share of kitsch, but this is on a whole other level of wildly camp. But, you know, it's the cinematic equivalent of bubblegum. It's ultimately substanceless sugar, but delivered in a really cute and bouncy package. It's weird actually, it kind of feels outdated even by the standards of the time it was made. Like, I don't think it's set in the 80s, but its whole aesthetic and let's go to the mall vibe feels way more 80s than it does 90s. The teenagers that make up the bulk of this cast just very much read like they've been written by a 1980s Hollywood exec absolutely off his nips on coke and who has no idea how teenagers speak, act, or dress. And that sounds like a criticism. And it is, or at least it would be if we still had a barrage of films that pulled this kind of nonsense. But in 2020, when we're living through the seriousification of pop culture as a whole, this kind of misguided nonsense bubblegum crap actually feels like quite the palate cleanser. I mean, granted, the concept has always been kind of silly. Buffy Summers is a high school student who, at least in this portrayal, is a snooty, self-absorbed rich kid in the popular clique at school. And then she finds out she's the chosen one, whose destiny it is to slay the vampires of the underworld. But can she find the time to balance her destined duty while also dating boys and not flunking math class? Like, there is no way you approach that concept without your tongue pressed firmly to the inside of your cheek. And even the TV series, which admittedly did go on to do grander things, spent most of its first season just reveling in the daftness of it all. And when you've only got a movie with a 1 hour 26 runtime length, you kinda don't have time to do much else, so you might as well roll with it. And roll with it they do.
I can't believe I'm doing this. I can't believe I'm in a graveyard with a strange man hunting for vampires on a school night.
You and I are one.
One what? Cute couple? I don't think so.
This is your defense. Please. Your puny faith?
No. My keen fashion sense.
I mean, that's class. I'm sorry, but that's just so brilliantly naff. I don't know how you can't like it. I think the one thing that holds all this together is a great cast that just kind of goes with whatever naffness is thrown their way. Well, except for Donald Sutherland anyway, who supposedly just did whatever the hell he wanted. But Christy Swanson is great. Really great, actually.
Yeah, her dialogue and plot is obviously kind of rubbish, but she's totally believable as the cheerleader airhead who has this character arc of realizing that there's more important things than being popular when literal vampires descend into her life and attempt to eat everyone. Luke Perry is fantastic as Pike, Buffy's love interest. Man, I gotta be honest, it's kind of bittersweet seeing him. Like, what a fucking great actor. Even this dopey mess, he still manages to shine as Buffy's support. He's charming and likable, and he does have one cringy line about how she's not like other girls, which unfortunately even him, excellent as he is, couldn't make work. But other than that, he's just so watchable and so young here. It's weird seeing him as this baby-faced heartthrob when the last role I really got familiar with him in was as the dad to this generation's baby-faced heartthrob.
Side note, by the way, I know Riverdale gets its fair share of probably deserved grief, but I will say that the episode they did in tribute to Luke Perry is genuinely very, very well handled. It's really touching. Just putting that out there in case anyone's a fan of his but hasn't watched Riverdale because, well, it's Riverdale. I promise that episode that's good.
Anyway, moving on before we get all too sad, you've got former WCW champion and wrestling deathmatch legend David Arquette as Pike's friend who gets turned, playing a really just fun side antagonist. He's super chewing the scenery every time he's on screen, but considering the tone of the movie, it totally works. Also, can I just say, I really loved the look of the vampires in this movie. Major Lost Boys vibes on some of them, and quite a different and far more simplistic approach to the almost Klingon-like wrinkled faces of the TV show. But it works.
I see fangs, I think vampire. They look good. Well, except for Paul Rubens, who looks like a pound shop philosophy tube, but he's great in other ways, if not for any other reason than giving us one of the best death scenes ever put to film.
You're gonna wish you died. Ooh, ah, ow, ooh, ah, ah, ah.
It's still going after the credits.
Actually, the only two I don't really have much to say about are the two biggest names, Rutger Hauer and Donald Sutherland. I don't know, they kind of show up, I guess. They're fine, but they're just sort of there. It's not like the performances are phoned in, I just don't think they're suited. Like, look at Rutger. Dude, you're the tears in the rain guy. You're a proper refined character actor. And I can see you trying a little bit to bring this kind of oomph here, but this is the Buffy movie. This movie has a vampire that uses his supernatural powers to win at basketball. It's fluff. You're not a fluff guy.
But I am, and I will happily embrace the fluff.
This film is not going to blow you away. The action is choppy but enjoyable, the characters are one note but held together by great performances, the plot is plodding but cute. Mixed bag would be an understatement. But if you're in the right mood, and I think 2020 has put us all in the mood that you just want to kill an hour and a half with a fairly memorable bit of 80s nonsense.
I know, it's 90s, but it just feels so 80s.
Then this could be the movie for you. It's cute, it's fun, it's wholesome. It's not going to rock your world, but you'd be hard pressed to have a bad time with it, so long as you're prepared to roll with the punches.
Hell, it even has some genuinely good laughs. It's a solid, spooky themed treat that goes great with pizza and pals. I can't say that I love it, but I can say that given the right mood and setting, I could definitely recommend it. And if you're a Buffy fan like me, it's worth watching just for the morbid curiosity of it all. It's kind of interesting seeing what stuff carried over and what stuff didn't make it to the TV show. Anyway, that's another episode of Wholesome Halloween. I hope you stick with us for more of the marathon. Please remember to subscribe to my OnlyDans and hit the bell so you do not miss tomorrow's episode. See you then.